me. Help me.
Hi. I'm in a good mood. Hold on. Cheers. Cheers, everybody. Hello. Welcome to the channel. Welcome. Take a seat with a Snorlax. You are all welcome to this wonderful review experience. I hope I do it well. I'm not skilled in the review sector, however I'm going to do my best. I also reviewed the Xbox Series S a few weeks ago, and I think I did an okay job. Would you please review it for me and let me know how I did? Links in the bio. Cheeky plug, but if you've got my back, you will click the link and you will go. You will go. Anyway, let's get into the meat and the potatoes. We are talking about the PlayStation 5, and let's get it started with talking about the appearance, the outer shell. Now, to some, the PlayStation 5 may look like some sort of alien digestive biscuit. It also may look like a type of fan or an ornament in your nan's house. You must not be mistaken. This thick boy is indeed our PlayStation 5. The design is a sleek matte design. You can take the front plate off with ease. As you can see, on one side it's flat, on the other side it's got a little bump, a booty, which is where you put your discs. On the back we have the mains, the HDMIs, 2 USBs and the Ethernet cable. On the front we have the eject button, the power button, a USB-C input and also a USB. Although it's majorly thick and it's had one too many burgers in its lifetime, the console is a pretty simple design in itself. It has got a matte outside and in the middle is a hard plastic. Also on the back and in the middle there is exhaust so it can breathe, and what I like about the inner PlayStation is that when you turn it on it lights up white and then it stays blue, I believe. The last thing I'm going to do is show some super creative, spectacular B-roll showcasing the size in comparison to the PlayStation 4 and also the PlayStation 4 Slim. Sounds really weird saying PlayStation 4 Slim. I don't want to keep mentioning it, but as you can see, I'm just trying to let you guys know this thing is massive. You are definitely going to need to make desk space if you want to lay it flat. It is bigger than my torso. Now, Timothy, we are going to speak on a deeper level when it comes to the PlayStation control. However, at a glance, you can see it's a super doopity sleek design. The shoulders are really thick, which is great. It feels so much better being this size. With the toggles, there is not much difference. They are the same size, however, they are more grippy and they do feel a lot nicer to hold. As well as the back, we have got sweat protectors, I call them. We have a textured feeling here, which stops that sweaty, grippy feel when it's just smooth plastic. Also, the buttons feel a lot easier to press, which I think is amazing. In general, the control is an absolute delight to use. And we've got the PlayStation button in the middle and it's completely different from ever before and it just looks really cool and futuristic. Yes, I use the word cool, which makes me uncool. Who cares? So now this leads me on to the setup of the console. PlayStation 5 setup was very easy. You cannot do the majority of it on the PlayStation app. However, this is how it's begun. You turn it on via the on button and then you press the control like any normal PlayStation. When that happens, your loading screen will come on, it will welcome you to the PlayStation and it will prompt you to plug your PlayStation control into the PlayStation 5 itself. Once that happens, it recognizes your control and it takes you on to the settings. You go through all your settings such as the Wi-Fi to begin with, and then I think you have to answer some terms and conditions, accept them, and then after that it takes you on to the meat and the potatoes. Interesting. I think this is a really interesting as it allows you to choose how you want to optimize your PlayStation. It allows you to choose this option if you want to save power. Now with this option, you will not be able to charge your control or download games in the background or install any updates in the background. For me, it was a no. I am a busy person. If I leave my PlayStation on or in sleep mode, I most definitely wanted to download all the games in the background and do any of those useful but pesky upgrades. So I chose the next one. The next option is called Optimize Mode. Now this allows you to plug in your control and charge it whilst your PlayStation is resting. It allows you to download all your games in the background, and also it will install any updates automatically. And the third and final one is completely customized. So if you want it to charge your control but you don't want it to download any updates, without your say so, it will do just that. You can customize it to how you want. Personally for me, I thought that PlayStation would make more use of the app itself. You are prompted to sign in on your app. However, all this does is it gives you a code or a barcode that you scan on your phone, and it allows you to sign in like that to your PlayStation account via the app. I thought it would be a good idea to be able to sign in first and then go through all the settings on your phone, as it was a super fast process before. I was taking B-roll for you guys, so it took me longer than I would have expected. However, if I wasn't taking B-roll for you, it would have been a super quickie, snippy process. The next option is what I realized I didn't particularly need to do, however I ended up doing it anyway to be safe. You are allowed to remove your games from your PlayStation to your PlayStation 5. Now, how do you do this, you ask? I've never done this before with a console ever. You had to get your PlayStation and plug your PlayStation in and put it down next to or near, in close proximity to your PlayStation 5. After this, you are allowed to choose what games you want to put on your console. You cannot choose all, because obviously the older PlayStation and PlayStation Slim with 1 terabyte has a lot more memory, over half, than the new PlayStation 5 with a custom SSD. So I chose 3 games, and it took approximately 5 minutes to get those games over to the PlayStation, and literally plug it in, pick the games, it transferred. You now listen to me, you don't really have to do this. Why? I might tell you now actually. So once I got through on my PlayStation, turned it on, it had all my games on my PlayStation account with the cloud. So I could literally just choose my games off the cloud, because most of my games aren't physical and you can download your cloud saves. That's what I'm going to say about that for now. You can do it that way, and it's just the easier way, to be quite honest. We're going to get onto games very shortly, but first we need to talk about the UI, the way it looks, the user interface. Is it as perfect as everyone says? Is it as sleek as everyone makes out? I'm here to tell you. The interface is super streamlined. It is in perfect logical order, and it makes complete sense. If you thought that the PlayStation 4 interface was simple, this is probably the most simplest but effective, and it looks good, interesting interface that we've probably had on a console yet. I'm super impressed with it. I like how it works. It's not overly complicated. We know where everything is, and it looks good, and that is important, right? It's a lot of explanation. As you can see at the top, you can choose your games, you can head to the PlayStation Store, you can check out the apps, you can check out your PlayStation subscriptions, and you can also go to the Share Factory. The Share Factory is where you can share all your clips and look at your friends' clips, which is super cool, and it adds like a sense of community in the gaming sphere, which is great. It's extremely easy to navigate around. At the top right is your settings, and I'll get more into the settings in a second, but they are really easy to find, and they are so similar to the PlayStation 4 settings. And even though they are similar, there are things that I personally think is important for you guys to know. The first thing, I didn't realise this until I plugged my headphones in. The screen reader, it either comes enabled or I enabled it myself, and it literally reads every single word, which is fabulous for those of you who can't read or struggle to read. It's there, and it will read every last word on your PlayStation for you, which is just great. I mean, I like how it's got that accessibility, and I think more things in the world, more consoles, more technology need that. I'm not quite sure the PlayStation 4 had it. I've never personally needed it. That's why I don't know. I should actually do my research before I open my big mouth. What I think is really worth talking about is the fact that you are able to change your game difficulty in the settings. Now, not all games will need this, because there is sometimes games where you don't have any difficulty, and sometimes there's games that don't allow you to have difficulty. Dark Souls. So I'm not sure if this is getting around games or this will completely just not work when you're playing certain games. However, it's really cool that it's there and you can just set it to easy if you're a noob like me and like to play games that are in easy mode. So another thing you can do is turn off the captions and change the language. Again, not all games are going to be in different languages, so it depends what game you're playing, but it's good that it's there. Settings, when you're playing, in terms of settings and navigating around the PlayStation, when you're playing games on the PlayStation, you just press the PlayStation button like this, and it will take you to a quick launch menu. Here you can see game prompts, you can see your progression of the game, and you can also click on the things that you want to do or you have used last, which is really helpful. And if you want to get off the game completely, you're done with it, goodbye, you just hold it down for a couple of seconds, 2 seconds. Quick launch, and when you just tap it, also you get to see the bottom of the screen, all the important things highlight and pop out. You've got settings, you've got music if you want to listen to some music whilst you're playing a game, you've got chat, you've got notifications, you've got all the general settings that you normally see at the top of your PlayStation. You've got in tiny icons at the bottom of your screen. Since we're on the topic of what the control can do, I may as well give you a more in-depth look on the control. I'm going to start with what everyone wants to know, but no one ever asks or mentions in reviews. How does it sound? Is it loud? Is it going to keep your wife and husband and children and girlfriend and boyfriend and whoever, your dogs, up at night? Is it going to do that? Or are you going to be able to sleep easy whilst your other half or friend is gaming like a badass? Well, this probably is the most quiet control out of the new Xbox control and the old PlayStation control and the Switch control. You can hardly hear it. Listen, I'll let you listen to me play it. I'll give you some ASMR since you all asked for it. I'll give you 5 seconds of it, maybe 10. Stay there, watch. Don't steal my Snorlax. This is why I am so hyped over this console. The DualSense control, the new DSC with haptic feedback. Wow. You get to experience this firsthand with Astro. You get to feel firsthand how this DualSense control works with the game Astro. It obviously, as you guys know, it loads straight away and there is so many different levels to play and it's actually super fun. How this works is when you are running on glass, you can have that sensation with the control, the vibrations, the sounds, you can hear it from the control. I will insert some footage and shut up now. Okay, I'm back. As I was saying, when you're jumping and landing on something, you can feel how that sensation would feel in your hands and it's like you're in the game. When the bit of wind comes past, when you're pulling something, these are all things that you can, I promise, it is so good and you can feel it with the haptic feedback. It is incredible and I've never ever felt anything so good in my life. It's really good and effective and I hope, for the sake of gamers, that all developers take haptic feedback into their mind and put it into every single game. Now, I really liked when playing SpiderMan. This is what I loved because you could be running past something and you can feel the wind rushing past you. A car could just drive past and it just skims your face when you're playing and you feel every single sensation in its control. And if you're so highly into the sensory feelings, you're going to enjoy this so much. I feel like I'm getting a bit emotional about this, but honestly, it is incredible and I want you guys to feel it firsthand. It's incredible. When playing Astro and you are shooting an arrow, you feel that sensation of an arrow. It's the strangest feeling ever, in fact. It's crazy. When you're swinging through the sky, you can feel this swoosh in the bush in your head and in your hair. Well, you can't, you can feel it in your hands, but it gives you that sensation in your brain. It's how it works, isn't it? It's the human body, biology. I think I've gone on about that too long now. You get the point, right? You do. I'll stop spoiling it for you guys, but honestly, this does take gameplay to the next level. Gameplay! I will talk about the PlayStation 5 titles that I delved into, however, I think it's important to talk about PlayStation Plus first. Now, thank you EA for sending me 12 months PlayStation Plus voucher. I waited until I got my PlayStation 5 to redeem it, and it is fantastic. The library is incredible. The AAA games on there are some games that I've never played, and I'm finally going to get to play for a super doopity good price. In my opinion, it's 100% worth it. There are also discounted games. There are a few good ones. There is nothing majorly exciting about any of the discounts, but it is definitely worth it due to the AAA titles and the games that are very expensive that you're getting for a really discounted price, essentially a couple of pounds a game for the year. Like, it's very good, and also they're going to be updated, so you're going to be getting different really good titles for a pittance. High five to saving money. We've got a bit of a sad topic to talk about before we get on to the PlayStation 5 games. PlayStation 4 games, backwards compatible. That's what we thought. However, not all games are going to be able to work. Majority of them are. However, there are some games that just won't work on your PlayStation, and there are other games that are really glitchy that you wouldn't enjoy playing. There are a few games apparently that run better, but do not expect your favorite PlayStation game to work perfectly on the PlayStation 5. If you're not selling your PlayStation 4, it's probably a good idea to keep so you can play your favorite titles on your PlayStation until the PlayStation 5 gets an update and your games can hopefully, fingers crossed, run better. We are all aware that the PlayStation is the thickest, a super duper strong console, but how does it actually run when playing PlayStation 5 games? I would like to say something negative just to spice things up, but I can't. It's seamless. It's so good. The loading times are incredible. What would take you like 20 seconds on a PlayStation takes you 9 seconds, if that, on a PlayStation when loading up your game fully. If that, I would swear it's like 5 seconds. Loading screens, sorry, what loading screens? I can't see any loading screens. Absolutely seamless. It makes playing games so much more enjoyable when you can play a big open world game and it can be super fast. Everything, you're immersed in the game, nothing stops. You don't have to wait for loading times. You don't get time to go on your phone texting, being distracted by the world outside that you shouldn't care about because you're playing Miles. In all seriousness, we know that the PlayStation 5 is super powerful due to the fact it will run an open world game like Miles in 4K, 30 frames per second with ray tracing. Yes, I said it. Hello Devil May Cry fans, ray tracing, you love that. And it's seamless and really fast, no glitches. And if you're not bothered about ray tracing, you can play it without it in 60 frames in 4K. Seamlessly, quick loading times, extremely fast. Now, the reason why we have amazing loading times and it's a powerhouse of a console is due to the fact that the PlayStation has a custom SSD. Now, the custom SSD is of course an amazing factor about the PlayStation. It's the reason why it can do what it does. Is there a downside of this at the minute? With this custom SSD, we are only getting approximately 660 gigabytes. Yes, I think that's right, of storage. Now, 660 gigabytes may seem like a lot back in the day. Is it a lot now with the games being so big? No, it couldn't even put my whole library of games on my old PlayStation onto my new PlayStation. And the reason why it can be seen as a negative thing is because if you want to play PlayStation 5 games, you can only use this SSD. What happens if you want 700 gigabytes worth of PlayStation 5 games on the PlayStation 5. The fact is that you can't do it at the minute because the PlayStation 5 games will not go on a normal external hard drive, which means that we either have to wait for an update which will allow it, which I can't imagine they do allow it, or we're going to have to wait for PlayStation to come out with a super expensive custom SSD that will work as an external hard drive and we can put our games on that. I think that is going to be our only option because people are going to really want more than 600 gigabytes of games on their PlayStation. Am I right? I think I'm right. What do you guys think? Put your input in the comments, let me know how you feel about it. Now, something that I'm going to be honest about, but I didn't actually realise until I had the console, was the 3D audio. And many of you may be in my position, a noob, where you didn't know that the PlayStation 5 had this capability. And I think it is incredible. It's such a nice effect along with the haptic feedback. You have this world in your hands and now you have it in your ears. The control audio. I attempted to use my favourite headphones ever with the perfect sound, and they look really cool and you can dance in them and have fun. I attempted to use these. I thought, yes, Bluetooth headphones will work with my control, with my PlayStation 5. What I did was I went into settings, went into accessories, went into Bluetooth and attempted to pair my Razer Kitty wireless headphones. Did it work? To my dismay, it didn't work. So I had to change it to my second pair of Razer headphones and use those instead. They are very, very good. They are wired though, and I was hoping and thinking that I could connect my Bluetooth headphones, which at the minute I can't, and I'm quite shocked about that. As I was saying, I digress completely, 3D audio. With these headphones, it is amazing. If your headphones work with the PlayStation 5, it'll work with 3D audio. It'll only work on certain games, and again, developers, please give us this with every single game that's made, because that with the sensation in the controls is an amazing experience. You can literally feel things brushing past your ears when things are getting closer. I think when I get my hands on the new COD game, the 3D audio is going to be incredible. You're literally going to be hearing people's tippy toes behind you. It's like 3D surround sound cinema, but in a game, and it's the equivalent to Ready Player One, isn't it? Just we haven't got all the gear and the treadmill thing, and it's just a nice effect. And I honestly hope that people continue to include this in games, because it really makes your gameplay an immersive, incredible experience. That is my newbie, unprofessional, professional review. I hope you enjoyed it. I want to give my verdict of the PlayStation really quickly before I say au revoir to you guys. There is no doubt that the PlayStation is a super powerful console and is perfect for the next gen. From the 3D audio to the 4K to the improved loading times, an interactive experience, 3D audio, haptic feedback, custom SSD, super fast loading time, and an improved library of PSN games, PlayStation 5 is looking like everything we ever wanted and more. Now, could there be improvements such as the PlayStation 5 being able to run PlayStation games more smoothly, or having a bit of a know how the SSD is going to work? Because at the minute we're all in limbo, or we're going to have to pay a really expensive price for a new one if we want more space, or will we in the future be able to use the standard hard drive, maybe more optimized for PlayStation? It's something that we don't know, and we are going to find out in the future. With the more updates we get of PlayStation, the more we're going to find out and the more we're going to know. It can only get better from here, and so far I am incredibly impressed. See, I can see an absolutely amazing future with the PlayStation 5, and finally we get to play games and feel more connected and play in a deeper level than ever before. Let me know if you guys are picking up the PlayStation 5, and if not, do you have any plans to? Why aren't you? Why are you? Would you buy it? Would you not buy it? Why? Are you going for the Xbox, or are you a PC gamer? The pros, the cons, do you hate it? Do you hate me? Let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next video, but we can't leave without the Starbucks! Lovely. Also, I'm holding this so you feel sorry for me. I am not a review person. So I have tried my hardest with these recent reviews. So if you could let me know how I can improve, or if you think that they're going well, any bit of feedback helps in this house. It's where I'm on lockdown, so try and be a bit nice, okay? Peace.